Mahek, Emily, Michael, great to have everybody this morning. Your reaction?
Maria, it's honestly insulting to see Robert De Niro stand there and act like he is this average, common man. This isn't Goodfellas. He looks like a grumpy old man. And I'll tell you, he's out of touch with Americans today because most know that this is a sham trial. He's blaming Trump for what Biden has created. Biden is the one who's a dictator. He allowed for a raid at Mar-a-Lago. He has continued to allow millions of dollars to flow to Iran, who is our enemy. He's a Hamas cheerleader. He hasn't stood up for Jewish students at universities. He doesn't know CRT. I mean, it's shocking today to see what's happening.
And it was shocking to see Robert De Niro there downtown, Emily. I mean, you know, yelling at Trump supporters, really bizarre.
It's wild. You know, I don't want to get my political advice from Robert De Niro, and I don't want to give him acting advice. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense for him to be trotted out by the left, to be put on table to say, hey, you know, everybody should be worried about President Trump when the reality is, as you said, people are concerned about the economy. Yeah, lawmakers in D.C. aren't hearing from their constituents about this trial. They're hearing about gas prices.
Yeah, that's a great point. But it seems like the Democrats always do or attack their opponent for what they're actually doing. I mean, Biden has been the threat to democracy here.
Yeah, this is unbelievable projections, and the things that De Niro was saying Trump was going to do to this country is what Biden is doing right now. I mean, the Democrats are turning this country into a third world hellhole. I mean, it is unbelievable to watch this trial play out. Even some of the most vitriolic Trump haters can't believe how weak this case is, and all the things that have come out in this court case, and the crimes that Michael Cohen has confessed to on the stand are far more severe than what they're actually accusing Trump of.
Yeah.
And another thing about all these actors, maybe we shouldn't take any sort of political advice or life advice from adults who pretend for a living.
Yes, great point. White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre sidestepped the questions about the report that President Biden is going to speak publicly about the Trump verdict, even though Biden will speak from the White House. He wants to speak from the White House setting, not a campaign setting, to make us believe that the statement is not political. Watch this.
I'm going to be super mindful here, as I always am, when it comes to especially this ongoing case, and also, as you all know, obviously the former president is a presidential candidate. I'm just not going to comment on that. I'm not going to speak to an ongoing case and to someone who is a candidate for 2024.
How rich. She doesn't want to talk about somebody who's a candidate, but they'll go outside and do a press conference with Robert De Niro, and President Biden will get ready to do a whole, statement from the White House once the verdict is reached.
Well, Maria, they're gaslighting the American people. This is an legitimate case, and we're constantly seeing it. Joe Biden allowed for the third person in his Justice Department to go and prosecute this case. So Biden has continued to allow this show trial. Joe Biden's been speaking about this from his bully pulpit from the start of this case. It's a sham, Maria.
Yeah, he sure has.